Days of Our Lives, June the 30th of July 11. The surprising new couples rise amid divorce drama and the custody war. Salem is heading into two stormy weeks filled with emotional upheaval and unexpected romantic twists. From June 30th to July 11th, longtime fans of Days of Our Lives will witness the heartbreaking unraveling of one of the show's most passionate couples and the surprising rise of two brand new romances. Xander and Sarah Kiriakis, once deeply in love, now find themselves locked in a bitter custody battle over their daughter, Victoria Kiriakis. As their marriage crumbles under the weight of legal stress and emotional betrayal, fate intervenes in unexpected ways. Xander begins to reconnect with his troubled ex-lover, Gwen, who returns to Salem with power, wealth, and possibly unfinished business. Meanwhile, Sarah finds comfort and growing emotional closeness with Brady, her longtime friend who might now become something more. Are these the beginnings of two new love stories? Or simply moments of vulnerability in a time of crisis? And is there still hope for Xander and Sarah to find their way back to each other? The days ahead will reveal it all. At the heart of the drama are Xander and Sarah Kiriakis, whose once loving bond is now being torn apart by a bitter custody battle over their daughter, Victoria Kiriakis. As emotions boil over and trust is shattered, Salem may be witnessing the final breakdown of their marriage. But even as one love story seems to end, two new romances may be quietly blossoming, ones that no one saw coming. A custody war ignites Xander's desperation and Sarah's resolve. For months, Xander and Sarah have tried and failed to find common ground as co-parents to little Victoria. What started as a fragile truce has now turned into a full-blown legal war, with both sides digging in their heels and preparing for battle. Xander, never the complicated anti-hero, refuses to give up on his daughter. Despite his criminal past and questionable decisions, one thing is painfully clear: he loves Victoria deeply and will do anything to remain in her life. But love, as always, comes with consequences. In recent episodes, Xander has been considering a shady move, something that could tip the custody scales in his favor but may come at a moral cost, though the specifics of this maneuver are still under wraps. Spoilers suggest it may involve manipulating evidence, using old secrets against Sarah, or even threatening to take Victoria out of Salem altogether. Whatever it is, it's a risk, and one that could cost him not only custody, but also his freedom and reputation. Gwen returns and reignites the past. Adding fuel to this already volatile situation is the highly anticipated return of Gwen, whose first air date is scheduled for July 7th. Longtime fans will remember Gwen as one of the most unpredictable forces in Salem, cunning, emotional, and always just one step away from total chaos. But this time, Gwen is coming back with a fortune, having inherited a vast sum from the late Dimitri von Lochner. Wealthy, emboldened, and perhaps still carrying a torch for Xander, Gwen is poised to reign into the scene with a bang. And what's more dangerous than a woman scorned? A wealthy woman scorned. As Gwen reconnects with familiar faces, including Xander, she may become more than just a friend. Their past connection, both romantic and tumultuous, never quite faded. With Sarah and Xander's marriage on the verge of collapse, Gwen may seize the moment to rekindle the flame and offer Xander something Sarah no longer can: unconditional support. Whether this reunion is genuine or Gwen has her own motives remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: her presence will shake up everything. Sarah and Brady, friendship or something more? While Xander finds himself leaning into Gwen's comfort, Sarah is finding solace in another surprising place in the arms of Brady, who has long struggled with his own romantic roller coasters and the burden of fatherhood, has been quietly supporting Sarah as she navigates the messy custody process. His advice has been steady, his shoulder has been available to cry on, and their bond has deepened week by week. At first, it was just friendship, two people connecting over shared experiences. Both have been betrayed. Both are fiercely protective parents, and both are trying to move forward. But lately, their scenes have taken on a new energy. There's tenderness, there's chemistry, and perhaps there's the start of something romantic. Spoilers suggest that Sarah and Brady's growing closeness could turn into a full-fledged romance, especially if Sarah finally decides to let go of her lingering feelings for Xander. If she does, Salem could be looking at a brand new couple with the potential to heal each other's deepest wounds. But will it be that simple? Is there hope for Xander and Sarah? Or is it too late? Despite the heartbreak and bitterness, many fans are still asking, Can Xander and Sarah be saved? They've been through so much, from betrayals and baby switches to near-death experiences and personal reinvention. At their best, they were a couple who balanced each other out. Xander brought passion and loyalty. Sarah brought compassion and reason. But somewhere along the way, the trust crumbled, and now it's unclear whether it can ever be rebuilt. If Xander does follow through with his shady plan in court, it might be the final straw for Sarah. Likewise, if Sarah turns to Brady for more than just friendship, Xander may shut the door for good. The road to reconciliation would be long and filled with pain. But in Salem, love stories are never truly over, not until the final curtain falls. What this means for Salem, a town on emotional alert, these shifting relationships won't just affect the people directly involved, they'll have ripple effects across Salem. Maggie Kiriakis, always the peacemaker, may be caught in the middle as she tries to guide Sarah through her heartbreak while still caring about Xander. Kristen DeMera, watching Brady's new closeness with Sarah, may feel jealousy and fear that she's truly lost him for good. Nicole and Eric, often caught up in their own complicated dance, may be drawn into the larger custody conversation, especially if legal lines start to blur. The dominoes are falling, and by the time July 11th arrives, two new couples may be fully in bloom, Xander and Gwen, and Sarah and Brady. But with every new beginning in Salem comes the risk of betrayal, heartbreak, or a secret waiting to explode. Next, Days of Our Lives, a tumultuous fortnight in Salem, June 30th, July 11th, 2025. The quiet streets of Salem are about to erupt with drama, betrayal, and heartbreak in the coming 2 weeks on Days of Our Lives. From June 30th to July 11th, 2025, the residents of this beloved town will face shocking revelations, fractured family ties, and secrets that threaten to unravel everything they hold dear. For fans, especially those over 65 who have followed the show's twists and turns for decades, this fortnight promises a roller coaster of emotions that will keep you on the edge of your seat. With a young girl spiraling into guilt, a father fighting for his son, and a mysterious gift stirring up old wounds, the stories unfolding in Salem are as gripping as ever. Let's dive into the heart of the drama, exploring the key moments that will define these unforgettable episodes. Rachel Black's descent into despair. At the center of this week's turmoil is Rachel Black, a young girl caught in a web of guilt and fear that threatens to consume her. Rachel's world turns upside down when she learns of Johnny Dimmer's arrest, a shocking development that hits her like a thunderbolt. Weeks ago, in a moment of confusion, Rachel confided in Marlena Evans, Salem's trusted psychiatrist, about seeing Johnny with a gun. That fleeting observation, shared in innocence, now feels like a betrayal as Johnny sits behind bars, accused of a crime he swears he didn't commit. Rachel's heart aches with the belief that her words to Marlena set this chain of events in motion. Though she had no role in Johnny's Asphys detention, stems from a complex investigation led by Detective Jadar Hunter, can't shake the crushing weight of responsibility. Her young mind races with what-ifs, wondering if her honesty has doomed Johnny to a life in prison. For viewers who've watched Rachel grow up in Salem, her distress is a poignant reminder of how even the smallest actions can ripple through a tight-knit community, leaving chaos in their way. As the week of June 30th unfolds, Rachel's anxiety deepens. She fears that her alter ego, Rachel Blake, a persona she's used to navigate Salem's darker corners, might vanish forever under the strain of her guilt. In a moment of desperation, she wonders if EJ DeMera, Johnny's powerful and often ruthless father, will abandon her in Remed, a remote place where she once sought refuge. The thought of being cast out terrifies her, adding to the emotional storm brewing within. Rachel's story is a heartbreaking exploration of innocence lost as she grapples with the consequences of a truth she didn't fully understand. Will she find a way to forgive herself, or will her guilt pull her into a darker path? EJ's battle to save Johnny, a father's desperate gamble. While Rachel wrestles with her conscience, EJ DeMera Danfirigal is fighting a battle of his own that could either save his son or tear his family apart. Johnny Carson Boatman, accused of shooting his father, is at the heart of a scandal that has Salem buzzing. EJ knows the truth. Johnny pointed a gun at him in a moment of anger but never pulled the trigger. The real shooter remains at large, and EJ is determined to clear his son's name, no matter the cost. EJ's resolve is tested as he navigates a web of lies and half-truths. The missing bullet from the gun and the lack of clear evidence keep Johnny in custody, and EJ's frustration grows with each passing day. Known for his cunning and willingness to bend the rules, EJ vows to do whatever it takes to free his Sonovan if it means playing dirty. This decision sends shockwaves through his family, particularly his wife, Chanel Dupree DeMera Ravenbowens, who watches with growing unease. Chanel, a voice of reason in the DeMera household, fears that EJ's ruthless tactics will backfire, dragging Johnny deeper into the dangerous world of the DeMera empire. She confronts EJ, her voice trembling with worry, warning him that his schemes could destroy the fragile bond he's rebuilding with his son. Chanel's concerns are rooted in love, but they also reflect her fear of the DeMera Lagossia legacy of power, betrayal, and secrets that has ensnared generations. As EJ digs deeper, he begins to suspect that the truth about the shooting is closer to home than he realized, setting the stage for a revelation that will shake Salem to its core. A cryptic gift and a literary mystery. Amid the DeMera family's drama, another mystery unfolds as Belle Black Martha Madison receives an unexpected package that stirs up old memories and new suspicions. The gift of missing memory card arrives without explanation, leaving Belle to wonder who sent it and why. Could this be part of EJ's elaborate plan to manipulate the narrative around Johnny's arrest, or is someone else in Salem pulling the strings? Using the memory card to expose a long-buried secret, Belle's discovery adds a layer of intrigue to an already tense week as she grapples with the implications of this cryptic clue. For viewers who followed Belle's journey through love, loss, and family drama, this moment is a reminder of her resilience and sharp mind. As she pieces together the puzzle, Belle's story intertwines with the larger DeMera saga, raising questions about loyalty and trust in a town where no one is ever truly innocent. Meanwhile, at the local bar, Kate Roberts' Brady Lauren Coslow is stirring up her own brand of trouble. Kate, with her keen instincts and knack for uncovering secrets, has a hunch that Stephanie Johnson and Abigail Klein is the true author of One Stormy Night, a novel that's taken Salem by storm. Stephanie, however, wants to keep her identity hidden, fearing the spotlight that comes with literary fame. Her boyfriend, Alex Kiriakis Robert Scott Wilson, does his best to throw Kate off the scent, weaving a web of half-truths to protect Stephanie's secret. But in Salem, secrets have a way of surfacing, and Kate's suspicions could spark a new conflict that ripples through the town. The truth unraveled, a shocking revelation. As the week of July 711 begins, the drama in Salem reaches a fever pitch. EJ's investigation into the shooting takes a dramatic turn when he uncovers a devastating truth. The real shooter is none other than Rachel Black. In a moment of panic, Rachel fired the shot that wounded EJ, then fabricated story to shift the blame onto Johnny. The revelation is see EJ like a freight train, shattering his trust in the young girl he once saw as family. Kristen DeMera Stacey Haydock, Rachel's mother, is thrown into a tailspin as the truth comes to light. Desperate to protect her daughter, she begs EJ for forgiveness, her voice breaking with fear and remorse. But EJ, consumed by anger and betrayal, is in no mood to forgive. The person who shot him and framed his son will face consequences, and Rachel receives a stern warning that her actions have changed everything. For EJ, this betrayal is personal wound deeper and the bullet that struck him. The fallout from Rachel's actions reverberates through Salem, straining relationships and testing alliances. Johnny and EJ's fragile alliance, forged in the face of adversity, puts additional strain on Johnny's marriage to Chanel. She fears that EJ's influence is pulling Johnny back into the DeMera web, a world of power and danger that she's fought to escape. As Johnny grapples with his father's tactics and his own innocence, he must decide whether to trust EJ or forge his own path. A fortnight of heartache and hope. These 2 weeks in Salem are a testament to the enduring power of Days of Our Lives, a show that has captivated audiences for generations with its blend of drama, romance, and suspense. For viewers over 65, the stories of Rachel, EJ, Johnny, Chanel, and Belle resonate deeply, reflecting universal themes of guilt, redemption, and the unbreakable bonds of family. Rachel's struggle with her conscience speaks to the weight of unintended consequences, while EJ's fierce love for his son mirrors the lengths we go to protect those we love. Belle's mysterious gift and Kate's literary sleuthing remind us that in Salem, the past is never truly buried, and Chanel's fight to keep her family intact echoes the challenges of balancing love and loyalty. As you settle in to watch Days of Our Lives from June 30th to July 11th, 2025, prepare for a journey filled with tears, triumphs, and shocking twists. Whether it's Rachel's heartbreaking guilt, EJ's desperate gamble, or the mystery of a cryptic memory card, these episodes will keep you hooked. So pour yourself a cup of coffee, grab a cozy blanket, and immerse yourself in the drama of Salem, a town where every day brings a new story.
All new Days of Our Lives, only on Peacock.